Hi, I'm Gary Klein, and this is Sam Farmer from the Los Angeles Times. We're out at USC where they've just completed their annual Pro Day workout for NFL scouts and general managers and coaches. Sam, a little bit different vibe out here today with the NFL labor situation.
Yeah, there's a real uncertainty with the lockout. What's going to happen after the draft? I mean, they're not going to have a free agent signing period immediately after the draft as they typically do, and guys don't know if they'll see a playbook until late summer.
Some of the stars out here, or the players that are regarded as possible high-round picks, include offensive lineman Tyron Smith, projected first-round pick as a right tackle or maybe a left tackle. He's put on 30 pounds since the season ended and showing he can get up over the 300-pound mark. How did he look today?
Well, and that's a big part of it. NFL scouts want to see that this guy can play north of 300 pounds. He's 310 now, and he says he could play at 315. He's never played anything heavier than 285, which he was last season. He looked pretty good, and I'll tell you that potentially Tyron could be a top 10 pick. Scouts think he's the most physically gifted offensive tackle in this draft, and he would be making a rare transition in the eyes of a lot of teams from a right tackle in college to a left tackle in the pros, probably the most difficult position on the offensive line.
Okay. One player who's not necessarily on the scouts' radar in terms of a high draft pick, maybe even a draftable player, quarterback Mitch Mustain. He's trying to repeat the Matt Castle catch lightning in a bottle with a great pro workout and maybe earn the attention of an NFL team that takes a shot at him. Now, Mustain came into Pro Day with a little bit of baggage. He had a legal off-the-field incident. He seems to have that settled. If he stays on good behavior, does some drug education classes and some community service, that'll be expunged from his record. But Sam, how does that affect a player getting ready for the draft?
Oh, I think it affects Mitch Mustain in a big way because remember, he's already got one strike against him that he doesn't have. He has very little playing experience, and then to have this situation off the field, that's another big strike, and he'd be questionable anyway as to whether he'd even be drafted. And I think teams are going to look at it and say, we've got a lot of options that we could go for a third quarterback, and do we want to do this? It would be a leap of faith for a team, but as Mitch said, it only takes one team to fall in love with you.
Right, and he'll be having some interviews, I think, as they get closer to draft day. So you can read about everything that happened out here today. Sam and I both will be writing about that. You can read that in the LA Times and on latimes.com. So from USC, I'm Gary Klein and Sam Farmer for the Los Angeles Times.